The city never truly slept. Even at dawn, when the streets were quiet and the sky held a pale shade of blue, life stirred in corners most people never noticed. It was in one of those corners, near a closed bakery with cracked windows and fading paint, that a young girl named Elena sat on the cold pavement, counting the coins in her palm. 3 coins. That was all she had left in the world. Elena was 19 years old, but hardship had aged her far beyond her years. Her clothes were clean but worn thin, her shoes patched more times than she could remember. She had come to the city with hope once, believing hard work would be enough to survive. But hope, she had learned, was fragile when hunger knocked every night. She hadn't eaten since yesterday morning. As she folded her fingers over the coins, she debated her next move. Bread or soup? If she was lucky, she could afford one. Her stomach twisted painfully as she stood up, ready to walk toward the market. That's when she heard it. A soft sound, a quiet sob. Elena turned. A little boy stood across the street, no older than 6 or 7. His clothes were expensive but rumpled, his hair messy, his small hands clenched tightly at his sides. His eyes were red from crying, his face streaked with dirt and fear. He was alone. Elena hesitated. In the city, stopping for strangers could be dangerous. People warned her every day to mind her own business, but something about the boy's trembling shoulders made her chest ache. She crossed the street slowly. "Are you lost?" she asked gently. The boy looked up, startled. He nodded but didn't speak. His lips quivered. I'm hungry," he whispered finally. That was all Elena needed to hear. She didn't ask his name. She didn't ask where his parents were. She didn't think about herself. She opened her palm and placed the 3 coins into his small hand. "It's not much," she said softly, forcing a smile. "But you can buy something warm. Please eat." The boy stared at the coins like they were treasure. "But what about you?" he asked. Elena swallowed. "I'll be okay." She wasn't sure that was true, but she said it anyway. Before she could say more, a loud voice cut through the air. "What do you think you're doing?" Elena froze. A tall man in an expensive coat stormed toward them, his face dark with anger. Behind him were 2 men in suits, clearly security. The boy turned pale. "Papa." The man grabbed the child's arm and pulled him close. His eyes burned into Elena. "Were you trying to steal from my son?" he demanded. Elena's heart dropped. "No, sir, he was hungry. I just gave him money." The man scoffed. "That's what they all say." People began to stare. Whispers spread. "She looks suspicious, probably trying to trick the child. Street people are dangerous." Elena felt the weight of judgment crush her chest. She tried to explain, but her voice trembled. "I didn't know who he was, I swear. I only wanted to help." The man didn't listen. He was Victor Hale, a name that carried power in the city. CEO, billionaire, untouchable. And he believed she was a threat. Security moved closer. Elena felt panic rise. She imagined being taken away, punished for kindness. Then the boy spoke. "She's lying," he said suddenly. Everyone froze. Victor looked down. "What?" The boy's eyes filled with tears. "She's lying because she said she'd be okay. But she was hungry too. She gave me her money anyway." Silence fell like a heavy curtain. Victor stared at his son, then back at Elena. "Is that true?" he asked, his voice quieter now. Elena nodded slowly. "Yes." Victor's expression shifted, not to anger, but confusion. Then something unfamiliar crept in. Shame. Later that day, Elena sat in a warm office, holding a cup of tea she hadn't asked for. Victor listened as she told her story, about her mother's illness, the lost job, the nights spent choosing between shelter and food. For the first time in years, Victor felt something stir inside him that money had never bought. perspective. I judged you too quickly. I'm sorry. He offered her help, not charity, but opportunity. A job at one of his foundations, a place to stay, a chance. Elena accepted, not because of wealth, but because someone finally saw her worth. Weeks passed. The boy, Lucas, visited her often. They talked, laughed, shared meals. Victor watched it all quietly. One night, Victor stood alone in his office, holding 3 coins Elena had given back to him. "They changed my life," she had said. He understood now. Kindness didn't come from abundance. It came from the courage to give, even when you had nothing left. And sometimes, the smallest choice rewrote destinies forever.